Hello students, so welcome back to the channel. So in this video we are going to study about the chapter 15, that is plant growth and development. Now see one thing, you have seen the structures like roots are present, stem, leaf, flowers, fruits and seeds are present. Okay, and they are coming in very orderly sequence also. So you know very well that this is a seed which is going to give rise to, this is plumule and this is radical. Okay, so radical give rise to the root system and plumule give rise to the shoot system. So sequence is there कि first root will be coming, then shoot will be coming, means plumule, and then on this you're finding leaves are coming in acropetal manner. And when the hormones are coming, then the vegetative apex will change into the reproductive apex to develop flowers, which after fertilization will form fruit and then form seeds. So that is order sequence is there. Is it clear? So first of all, seed will be there, then germination of seed means seedling will be there. Then when they become small plant, we say plantlet, and finally they are becoming into the mature plant. Obviously, this is a sequence there. It is there. Now, if you know very well, plants, trees will increase in height. So increase in height is because of the apical meristem or because of the intercalary meristem. Because of these two reasons, the plant is increasing in the height. And it is increasing in the girth because of the lateral meristem. So you know very well that trees will grow in the height as well as girth also. But if you see leaf, flower and fruit, leaf, flower and fruit, they will not only have limited dimension, means they will not grow continuously, they are having particular size. After that they will not grow further, and they appear and fall also periodically. Okay, you know this very well ki leaf, flowers and fruits, these are the three structures of the plants which are having limited dimension and they appear and fall. Now main thing is this ki these all leaf, root, stem, leaf, they are a part of a vegetative phase. The first vegetative phase will come, after that only a reproductive phase will come, means flowering is coming. So, and you know very well that all plant organs, they are made up of different types of tissues, which you have already studied in your anatomy of flowering plants. There is a permanent tissues which is simple and complex. So any relationship is there between the structure of cell, tissue or organ, what they perform. So you know very well that collenchyma, which is a living mechanical tissue, will be seen in the petiole, it will be seen in the stalk of the flower, stalk of the leaf, in the young stem, and sclerenchyma work is for the support, mechanical support. Parenchyma, which will have the chloroplast, will do the photosynthesis and the storage of the food. So there is relationship. Yes, there is relationship between the structure of cell, tissue, and organ and function they perform. Is it clear? Now, all cells, if you know of the plants, they are coming from one cell, that is zygote. Then the question comes in the mind, ki why and how? Why and how they have different structural and functional attribute. Why they are structurally different and why they are functionally different, and how do they do this? So actually, we see one thing, development. This is important. Development means it is a sum of two processes. Which two process? Growth and differentiation. So you can write here, development is equal to growth plus differentiation. Understood, beta? Now, if you have to start, let us see, you should know how the development of mature plants is taking place from the zygote. How the development is going on from the zygote, and it is that also very highly precise and highly ordered sequence. Now, during this process, complex body is formed that produce root, it will produce leaf, branches, it will have flowers, fruits and seeds, and finally it dies also, the plant dies also. So now our focus in this chapter will be, we have to study the factor which govern and control these development process. So these are your development process. Question areas I am focusing, okay? And these, the factors can be both intrinsic as well as extrinsic. So development is under the control of intrinsic factor also as well as extrinsic factor also. So in this paragraph, question areas is what is development? Development is sum of growth and differentiation. What are the processes which occur during development? There'll be the complex body organization will be formed, making the roots, leaves, and all these things. And the factor which control all this, they can be intrinsic factor or they can be extrinsic factor. Clear? Now see one thing, see this diagram based. If you know very well, okay, this is the cotyledon. Okay, this is the cotyledon, they are showing it. And see from the cotyledon, first hypocotyle is going to give rise to radicle. Check, this is the primary root and these are your root branches. And you know very well, root branches arise from pericycle. They are endogenous in origin. So hypocotyle. And see here carefully, if you see, this is a cotyledon is below the soil right now. The first hypocotyle is coming and then cotyledon is going, and check, it is becoming into the embryonic leaf. It is green in color doing the photosynthesis. That is why we cotyledon is also known as embryonic leaf. Clear beta? And see here, it is making the hook, epicotyle hook formation. So epicotyle hook formation is going on and the seed is actually, seed coat is getting removed. And finally, above this, see this, check this diagram carefully, this diagram. Below this cotyledon was hypocotyle. Hypocotyle means below cotyledon. And above this is your epicotyle, means above cotyledon, which is going to give rise to shoot system. So hypocotyle give rise to root system and epicotyle give rise to plumule, finally giving rise to the shoot system. Is it clear? And this type of germination is known as epigeal germination. Epigeal germination, in which hypocotyle is coming out first and then epicotyle is coming. Now let us focus on the growth. So what is a growth? If you know very well, this is again question area. It is one of the most fundamental and conspicuous, means very clear characteristic of living organisms. So it is most fundamental and conspicuous characteristic of living being. Now you can say growth means it is irreversible, you can't make it short, and it's a permanent increase in size of an organ or either its part or even the cell also. So growth is actually because of the metabolic process, and the metabolic process are of two types, anabolic and catabolic. Anabolic means making, means you are synthesizing the complex from simple. So anabolic means formation of complex molecule. Okay, complex molecule from simple. Example, photosynthesis from simple one. And catabolic means breakdown of complex. The complex molecules are broken down. Is it clear? So for anabolic, you can remember photosynthesis in your mind, and for catabolic, remember respiration. So growth is actually a metabolic process is occurring, then only the growth is occurring. And it is because, and you are using energy that time. If you know the leaf is expanding, we call it as growth also, because leaf is increasing the size. If you know initially the leaf is only this much in size and slowly the size is increasing, so we say leaf is growing. Okay. And swelling of the piece of the wood, which is because of the second, and when it placed in the water, when you are placing in the water, it is swelling because of imbibition. The swelling is because of imbibition. That is not related with the growth. It is not growth. It is just swelling because of the pectin, which is hydrocolloid. Pectin is absorbing water and it's increasing in volume. Is it clear? Now, plant growth is indeterminate. Indeterminate means it will continue to grow throughout their life, because reason is they are having apical meristem. So we say plant growth is unique. Why? Because they retain the capacity for unlimited growth. So we can say plant growth is indeterminate. We can say it is unlimited also. And it is why? Because of the presence of meristem. Okay, and these meristem, you know very well that there are three types of meristematic tissues are there. Apical meristem, which is responsible for increasing in length. Intercalary meristem, which is also responsible for increasing in length. But lateral meristem is responsible for increasing in width. Is it clear? And cell of these meristems, the meristematic cell means they are dividing. So obviously they are having the capacity to divide, and they can do the self perpetuation, means one cell is going to divide to form two cells, and 2, 4, this is the way going on. And the product, however, later or sooner, the product will lose the capacity to divide, and they will become a permanent cells, whether they are simple or they can be complex. So this form of growth, where new cells are always added, is also known as open form of growth. So from this question area, from this paragraph, if suppose the question they ask you, ki plant growth is indeterminate. Yes, you will see, yes, it is indeterminate. One, this question language. Second, plant growth is unlimited. Yes, it is unlimited because of the meristem. Plant shows open form of growth. Yes, it is showing open form of growth because continuously cells are being added from the meristem. Is it clear? I hope up till here you have understood the concept. Now the question NCERT is asking, what will happen if meristematic cells, they stop dividing. C's means they stop to divide. Yes, it happens. If meristematic cells stops to divide, it means they are becoming permanent cells. And they can behave as a parenchyma or collenchyma or sclerenchyma, depending upon whether they are made up of one type of tissues, or they can behave as xylem or phloem if they are made up of more than one type of tissues. So they can, if they are stopped, then they'll be behaving as a permanent tissues. And permanent tissues means, which is again of two types, simple tissue and complex tissue. Okay, the simple means again is made up of only one type of tissue. So it is parenchyma, this is collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. I hope I'm writing in short, you are able to understand. Complex means it is made up of more than one type of tissues, and they are xylem and phloem. Is it clear? Now see one thing, you know very well that root tip is having root apical meristem. Same way the shoot tip will have shoot apical meristem. And they are responsible for the primary growth. Primary growth means increase in the length only. So primary growth is because of the apical meristem, and they are responsible for elongation of the plant. Is it clear? But in dicot and gymnosperm, please focus carefully. The lateral meristem, which one? Example is your vascular cambium and cork cambium. That is vascular cambium and cork cambium. Okay, these two. They are actually which appear later in life. They appear later because they are, that is why we say lateral meristem, because they appear later, because they are secondary in origin, and they are responsible for increasing in the girth, and it is responsible for secondary growth. So now see the question, shoot apical meristem and root apical meristem, it is responsible for primary growth. They both are responsible for primary growth, means increase in the length only. But vascular cambium and cork cambium, they are responsible for secondary growth. So here I hope up till your concept is clear that plants are again having two types of growth, primary growth and secondary growth. Primary growth is because of apical meristem, and secondary growth is because of the lateral meristem. And it is seen in the dicot and gymnosperm, very important. Beta, please focus it. Okay, the lateral meristem. Now see, growth is measurable. Is the growth measurable? Yes, growth at cellular level, if suppose growth is occurring at the cell level, it means it is nothing, it is an increase in the protoplasm. At the cell level, if suppose this is one small cell, let us assume this is a cell, okay, this is a cell, and when I'm finding the cell is becoming big, it means what is going on? Protoplasm is only increasing. So increase growth at cell level is increase in the protoplasm. And now increase in the protoplasm is you can't measure. It is very difficult to measure. So increase in the protoplasm is very difficult to measure. Directly you can't measure. So you have to take some another characteristic for measuring it. So it is measured by different parameters. For example, increase in fresh weight or increase in dry weight or length, area, volume, and cell number. These are the parameters you will take for measuring the growth. Is it clear? Now, for example, one single maize root apical meristem, please focus, one single maize root apical meristem can give rise to more than 17,500 new cells per hour. So increase in the number of the cell is also helping us to know growth is occurring. If you know cell of watermelon can increase in size, is it clear? Increase in size by 350,000 times. So in the first case, in case of the maize, it was increase in the number, but in case of the watermelon, it was increase in the size. So it's given here in the former case, means in case of the maize, growth is in increase in number, and in the second case, it is growth in increase in the size. Is it clear? Now another example, pollen tube. If you see the pollen tube grows, we say pollen tube is growing, then it is growing because of the increase in the length. Increase in the length. And another, if you see, we say leaf, dorsiventral leaf also grows, and that is growing by the increasing surface area. Increasing in surface area. So four examples are there. For maize, it is increase in number. Number increase. For watermelon, it is size increase. Okay, for watermelon, size is increasing. And for pollen tube, length increase. Length is increasing. And for leaf, area is increasing. So these are the different parameter examples they have given. Is it clear? Now let us see the phases of the growth. See, first of all, there are three main phases of the growth. Number one is meristematic. Number two is elongation. And number three is maturation. You have to remember the root apical meristem which you have studied in the morphology of flowering plant. So first of all, see very well that meristematic tissues are the one which are present at the root apex and the shoot apex. And the cell of this region, they are rich in protoplasm. They are rich in protoplasm. They have large conspicuous nucleus. Cell wall is primary, very thin and cellulosic cell wall with many plasmodesmata connection. It is living connection. Is it clear? So these are the characteristics of the meristematic cells. The meristematic cells are the one which are having thin cell wall, dense cytoplasm, and big nucleus. Now cell proximal. Proximal, always remember one Hindi learning tips is there. Proximal means piche. So back of means piche of meristematic will be elongation. So proximal to the meristematic zone will be elongation. And in elongation, you will find vacuoles are increasing. Increased vacuolation because elongation will be because vacuole is there. So endoosmosis concept will be there. Cell will enlarge and new cell wall deposition is also characteristic. They can go for the new cell wall deposition though they are laying within the primary only. Okay, the primary cell wall goes for expansion. Now away from the apex means more proximal to the elongation will be the one which is your phase of maturation. And in this case, they have gone the maximum size in terms of wall thickening, maximum thickening they have achieved. Protoplasmic modification also they have done. So these are the one phases of growth. So in this video, we are discussing only up till here. In the second part, we'll be moving with the next topic further. So thanks for watching.